What's up guys, and welcome back to the infamous project. I wanted to drop a quick little video for you guys titled, Who Should You Get / Trust to Work on Your Foxbody? Because I know I've been dropping some videos and talking about previous work in some cases, and I never like to bash other shops or other individuals because there's a lot of things that are circumstantial when it comes to a Foxbody. In fact, myself and Casual Customs just had B-Man 001 from Instagram on our latest pod, and he was talking about when he first got his car, how hacked the wiring was and just the poor craftsmanship all around the car. Now we need to remember, especially if you're buying a car, the average Fox or whatever it might be, that's been sitting around for a while and that was probably built or modified in the 90s, chances are you can't have a very high level of expectation of what that work would have looked like. The reason being, these cars were like $2,500, $3,500. Don't get me wrong, there were some that were up there. There were the $10,000 Foxes that were used, and remember, the cars were $15,000, $20,000 brand new, depending on the options and packages, maybe even a little bit less for a notch. And there's a notch back there. Anyways, my point being is that you need to sort of match the expectations of the quality of work to the vehicle. Back in the day, these were nothing but tin cans, with nuts and bolts in them and rattle around and all that stuff. So you can't really expect that the level of work would reflect that of, say, a Ferrari or a Mercedes or something that was like $50,000 to $100,000 back in the day. So fast forward to today, these cars are no longer, well, there are the $2,500, $3,500 Foxbodies. I've gone over that stuff. And when you find one of those, your expectation levels are like down here. You know, it's like it couldn't get any worse, especially if the car's running and driving. Anything that you do is a win, and it doesn't matter how bad that work was. You might shake your head at some stuff like why or whatever, but you don't care. Now, the average Fox going up and above to elite Foxes, specialty Foxes, low mileage Foxes, our expectations levels now change because the cars are $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 in some cases. And there's nothing worse than seeing a hacked up radio harness or a butchered installed alarm system or horribly welded subframe connectors. You guys can see where I'm going with this. So you've bought your Foxbody, or you've had your Foxbody now for a while, and you're looking for somebody to do some quality work on it. Who do you send it to? Amazing question. It truly is. And I know I'm not the only person out there that knows Foxbodies really well, but just because I know Foxbodies really well doesn't mean that I know everything. Or I might know a lot, it doesn't mean that I can do a lot. Huge difference there. So talk is cheap, and let people show you or demonstrate that they are capable of working on your car. So that brings me to the first point. The shop that you're going to look for doesn't have customers or reviews from the past or somebody, referrals that can speak about the quality of their work. That's a big question mark. If they don't have some sort of a portfolio or just anything that can provide you the confidence that you need to allow them to touch your car, and maybe you need to find somebody else. Is the person that you're talking to actually going to be the one performing the work? Now, that's a huge one, because I know that anybody that reaches out to me or that wants me to do work to their car, they can expect, the reasonable expectation is that my hands are physically going to be working and touching on the car, and that the trust is in me. The trust isn't in me saying, yeah, I'm going to get the job done. Meanwhile, there's some high school apprentice or co-op student working on the car that doesn't know much. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I encourage that. I would love to have some young blood and some youth, and that's a whole other conversation. But with oversight, with guidance, with all of those things that come with training and learning and developing, and you don't ask somebody that doesn't know how to change oil to rebuild an engine. So Knowing who is going to work on your car, and if it's going to be somebody different, what are they capable of and what can they do? And I know this kind of sounds weird because it's like you're almost interviewing the shop, but this day and age, you couldn't be any more careful. A lot of people talk and say they can do things, or, oh, yeah, that's no problem, we got you covered. They can talk in confidence and they could sell you on all this work that they might do. And at the end of the day, they might fail to deliver. So you guys need to read the reviews. You need to look for someone who's competent. And depending on the work that you're wanting to get done, you're gonna wanna make sure that they know Foxbodies. Knowing Foxbodies is extremely important, not in all cases. If you're getting a transmission rebuilt, if you're getting general maintenance, like a rear main seal done, or maybe you're getting gears installed or an exhaust system done, generally speaking, it's hard to mess those things up. Cars are all of the same, foundation and fundamentals, so to speak. So if you know how things work and you're competent and experienced in what you do, you shouldn't have a problem with those general things. Now, paint and body, completely different ball game. There's areas that need to be focused on, attention given to, understanding the problematic areas, not only for rust, but for panel alignment, for twisting, for, the way that the body is put together, the way that the roof skin meets the A-pillar, and same in the back, and how there's factory lead in there, so on and so forth. You want to make sure that when it comes to that type of stuff, that the shop knows what they're doing. Interior is another one, guys. If you're looking for somebody to help with the squeaks, the rattles, doing a heater core, doing door panels, changing window regulators, door lock actuators, any of those things, get somebody that knows a Foxbody. And you know what, it might not even be a shop, it might be a friend, it might be somebody in a Facebook group or within the community that would be able to help you out and show you, or maybe do the work for you for a couple bucks. They're gonna know how to take the door panels off properly. They're not gonna pull the speaker grill covers off thinking that that's how you get to the speakers. There's just so many things that if you know, you know. And it's important that if you don't know, you find somebody who does know, and you kind of go from there. So as I'm saying all of this stuff, it could be, a little overwhelming. It could be a little daunting. Like, who do you trust? Like, your car is an extension of your family, of yourself, your personality, your everything that you've put into it as a hobby, as a passion, as all of these things. And to just say, oh, here's the keys, and hoping that they're not going to joyride it, hoping that they're not just going to, let it sit in the corner and it ends up in body shop jail or mechanic jail or any of those jails that people talk about when they're restoring a Fox. You really need to do your homework, guys. You really need to have trust in people as well. And I think honesty. There's so many people, again, and I know I said it earlier, I'm going to keep saying this. Everybody will talk and say, I can do it. Well, what's their way of doing it? Yeah, they can get the job done, but what's the outcome going to be? How did they get from A to B? Did they take all the right steps? Did they cut some corners in between? Are you going to be okay with the way that they do it? Is it going to be documented? As you guys see, I can be pretty creative with editing and maybe, hide where I'm swearing or I'm frustrated or, I cut some stuff out because it's just taking too long or longer than it should, and it ends up looking a little easier on my videos. But for the most part, you guys see what I face and what I go through in order to take a car apart or put a car back together, for that matter. So you don't always get that, and you need the trust. You need reputation, you need referrals, you need that resume of the shop or the individual that's going to be doing work to your car. So research. Don't let talk get the best of you, and don't let a salesman sell you on something that maybe the shop isn't going to be able to deliver on. So the proof is in the pudding. Look for a shop that has a reputation. Hopefully this has helped you guys out a little bit. I wanted to sort of just put it out there, because so many people ask me if I can work on their car, or they say, oh, I wish you were closer. There's more of me out there, guys. There really is. Just not everybody is on YouTube. There's a lot of shops. They do not have the time to even bother with social media because they're so busy. It's hard to find people this day and age that are willing to work. And let alone when you do find somebody who's willing to work and they're good at what they do, they're generally pretty busy. So be prepared to wait, because they're not going to be able to just get your car in tomorrow, but it's going to be worth the wait. So keep that in mind. Better yet, you can always check out videos and how-tos and everything else, and maybe it's a job you can tackle yourself. So I'm going to leave this here. I just wanted to, again, complete freestyle and throw this video out there to the world, because I know it's kind of an important topic this day and age. It's not easy finding somebody who wants to work on your Fox. So hopefully this has helped you in one way or another. Till next time, we'll see you here on the Infamous Project.